So let's talk about the consumer a little bit. We know that the S&P 500 is very concentrated in a few mega cap tech stocks, largely around the AI theme. But I think it's important to see both sides. So let's have a look at the consumer stocks. And I want to particularly point out shares of Starbucks here, so you can kind of see what I'm noticing here on my end. What you're looking at here is essentially a bunch of consumer stocks, anything from the Campbell's company, that's soup, to General Mills, to Heinz, to McCormick, to Henkel, Procter & Gamble. Now, a lot of these are consumer staple stocks, but not all of them. And a lot of these things are down 30% year to date. So consumer stuff. You may have seen what happened to Chipotle Mexican Grill last week. The stock had a sharp correction after topping out, about a year and a half ago, or not quite, a year and a quarter ago, and it continues to falter lower. The company was very explicit in terms of what they're seeing from the consumer, which is that the consumer is weakening, and so I think that's something that we don't want to ignore. Which brings me to Starbucks. Now, before we look at the chart of Starbucks, what I would like to point out is that what we are seeing from a trending perspective and ultimately momentum is that the stock continues to weaken. So this is our trend following work. This is our market rover trend following algorithm, which tells us exactly when something is in a bullish trend or a neutral trend or a bearish trend. The bullish trend being the green background color, neutral trend being black background color, meaning nothing to do, and then the bearish trend, which is the red background color. So basically, the stock has been in a bearish trend since June, so for a few months now, and it's really not getting any better. In fact, we're now also getting momentum sell signals. In fact, we received our latest momentum sell signal just the other day as the stock continues to weaken. So the question, of course, is, if we move on over to the absolute chart, is whether shares of Starbucks at the top here is going to follow something, maybe not as dramatic, but something like what we are seeing in many other consumer stocks, both consumer staples and consumer cyclical stocks, which would mean further movements to the lower right. So to keep this very simple and very honest, basically this, right? I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we are certainly signaling on our side, receiving signals, I should say, that there is a further deterioration likely in Starbucks. It is also, just if you think about it from a consumer behavior perspective, it just seems unlikely that people are going to continue buying $5, $6, $7 lattes, but giving up their burritos at CMG. Now, I'm sure one could come up with an argument on that. And I'm not saying people are going to totally stop going to Starbucks, but I would imagine they'll be going less to Starbucks if they really are pinched for money, if you will. So anyway, hope it helps, folks. That's my view here through the lens of stocks on the U.S. consumer. Hope it helps. We'll see you in the next video.
If this video helped you, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, you give us a thumbs up like, and if you want to see this approach in action, you will want to join us in our Set the Market morning call, which happens at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, Monday through Thursday. Make sure you join us for that in the link down below. Again, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.